Welcome to Sportsball Roundup. Now here's your hosts, Devin and Reese.
Yes, hello, and welcome to Sportsball Roundup. I am Devin. Joining me is my co-host, Reese. And Reese, we got a lot to get to, so let's just jump right into the MLB postseason. The top two seeds in each league get a bye. So the National League top two seeds are the Braves and Dodgers at 1 and 2, and the American League top two seeds are Orioles and Astros at 1 and 2. The Twins in the American League are 3, followed by the Rays at 4, the Rangers at 5, and the Blue Jays at 6. In the National League, we got the Brewers at 3, Phillies at 4, Marlins 5, Diamondbacks 6. The American League wild card are as follows: Rangers win Game 1 in Tampa 4-0. Twins win Game 1 in Minnesota 3-1. Diamondbacks take Game 1 in Milwaukee 6-3, and Phillies take Game 1 over the Marlins 4-1. So we got the wild card going on. They're best of 3, and the NL and AL division series begin October 7th, and they are best of 7. Reese?
Yes, best of 7.
And so, Reese, with the postseason underway, we're going to do two things here, okay? First of all, we're going to go what is likely to happen, the most probable matchup for the World Series, and then we're going to talk about what we want to see happen for the World Series. And, Reese, I'll start off with what's likely going to happen. I think it's going to be chalky. It's going to be either Braves or Dodgers on the National League side, and Orioles or Astros. I'm kind of leaning towards Orioles, Dodgers in the World Series match. What do you think? This is what's most likely going to happen.
I'm actually gonna lean the opposite. I think it is leaning towards a rematch of last year, I believe, where it was the Astros and Braves. I think the Orioles are the number 1 seed for a reason, but they don't really have postseason experience like the Astros do. And I just think the Astros, if they're not knocked out early, they're a definite contender for the World Series with all of their postseason experience. But I think that it's the Braves and Astros is the chalk for me.
Now, with the probables out of the way, here's what I want to see. I want to see Diamondbacks on the National League side, and I want to see the Rangers on the American League side. And the reason being, I'm not really a fan of any one of the teams in the postseason. So, I what I like to do is I like to pick a new team to root for in the postseason, or at least a new matchup to root for happening for the World Series. And this matchup, Rangers Diamondbacks, is solely based upon I don't want to see the Braves, the Dodgers, the Astros in the World Series yet again. Like, I want some new competition, some new blood, so to say, in the postseason. So I do like the Diamondbacks, honestly, because they're the underdog. They're the lowest seed. They're kind of just squeaked in, and I like that story. And the Rangers, I kind of have an affinity for because I did see a game when I was little, and Alex Rodriguez, A-Rod, was a Ranger at the time. So I got a signature full-size wooden bat from that game. And so I kind of want to see the Rangers go. And What do you think, Reese? What would you like to see?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with the Rangers. Either the Rangers or Rays getting there, but I'd like to see the Marlins keep Miami's hot streak of teams from Miami getting to the finals. Like in the NBA, you had the Heat this year. Um, in the NHL, you had the Florida Panthers making NHL the Stanley Cup final last season. Um, even their soccer team got a certain someone, but because just Miami is on a hot streak of just making the playoffs and deep runs in the playoffs all of a sudden. I don't know what it is, but maybe the Marlins can keep it going. I'd like to see that.
And also, you kind of, this is really off in the left field, so to say, but the NBA had their media day. I don't know, a couple days ago. They all had, their media days for each team. The two things that were the funniest coming out of media day were, number one, did you see Jimmy Butler's haircut?
Oh man,
Did you see it?
God, I did.
That was hilarious. And
Unfortunately.
the funnier thing is he does that every media day. It's a new hairstyle every media day, and then he just changes back to the cornrows somehow.
Yeah, that's awful because
I
I don't even know how he would be able to play with that hair. Like,
He didn't. He
I,
changed it back.
right, but I'm just saying, like,
It's really funny. I would have
if
loved to have seen him play one game like that.
oh
That'd have
my
been so
god,
funny. And the other really funny thing, Reese, did you see all the interviews that Jokic had for media day?
that I did not see.
Oh my god, it is a treat. It's literally the vibe we got from the press conferences after they won the NBA final. It's just God, still have to be here. I'd rather go race horses in Serbia.
Yeah,
That too continued. Like, he was so not wanting any part of it. He didn't touch a basketball all off season. He didn't do anything related to basketball at all. He literally just shows up to get paid to fund his horse racing, and it's absolutely hysterical. And um, so anyway, it was just a little bit of a tangent there. Getting back on track. You know, we'll go to college football. Here are some Week 5 highlights. Oklahoma pulls away from Iowa State, 50-20. Jacksonville State beats Sam Houston State in OT, 35-28. And now Sam Houston State is still last in total offense. Oregon State beats Utah 21-7. USC holds on to beat Colorado 48-41 in a game that Colorado was not in most of the game and just happened to come back. I think USC, let off the gas a little bit. Williams went 30 for 40, 403 yards, 6 touchdowns, 1 pick. Sanders went 30 for 45, 371 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 pick as well. So Coach Dion, 0 for 2 in big matchup tests. So we'll see if he can right the ship in Colorado. Kentucky upsets number 22 Florida 33-14 in a game I didn't see happening. Georgia beats Auburn 27-20, and honestly, Reese, Georgia looks like the weakest number 1 we've had since the college playoffs.
yeah, They need better quarterback play. And Auburn had them for a while there. They just found a way to win, and that's what ranked teams do, and good teams do. They just find a way to win.
And so, yeah, speaking of finding a way to win, Baylor scores 26 unanswered in the fourth quarter for largest comeback in school history to beat UCF 36-35. Michigan obliterates Nebraska 45-7. Ole Miss scores last in high-scoring affair to beat LSU 55-49. With Daniels, LSU's quarterback, having gone 27 for 36, 414 yards and 4 touchdowns. And Ole Miss quarterback Dart going 26 for 39 and 389 yards and 4 touchdowns. Over 1,300 total yards in the game. High flying affair in that SEC matchup. What did you think about that game, Reese?
Yeah, definitely entertaining. Just over 1,300 total yards. That's insane. I mean, not much to say. It was just very entertaining. 55-49 is crazy for a college football game.
If you had the over, you were in the money.
Oh, at halftime, most likely.
Yeah. Notre Dame goes on to beat Duke 21-14. Washington beats Arizona 31-24. And now, Reese, we got to get to it. The Iowa game. We were both at it. Well, we went together, and it was weird. The game was weird. So Cade McNamara goes down in the first quarter. Come to find out, I think it was yesterday, he's out for a season with a torn ACL. I think he has 1 year of eligibility left. Is that correct, Reese?
Yes.
So he can come back next year and play.
Yeah.
So, it was kind of a very down game. We aren't, doing much. We punt the ball a lot. There was a sign on College Game Day that I found absolutely hilarious. It was the sign said "Live, Laugh, Punt," and then it had a little the Iowa logo on it.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously that's accurate because we lead college football in punt yards with 1,482 yards in punts, and 31 punts over the 5 games that we played. So we were down for a majority of the game, and it was fourth quarter. I don't know. I don't even know why this happened, but we just got loud. It was a third down situation. I don't know. The Michigan State was at the I don't know. I want to say like 20-yard line, maybe even less than that. Third down situation. The crowd went absolutely crazy. It was loud, and I can understand why a team would be intimidated and false start because it was deafening in that stadium in Kinnick. And so they did. They false started. They reset. We got loud again. The Michigan State coach had to take a timeout because they were probably about to false start again. They come back from timeout, reset. We get loud a third time, and another false start happens. We get loud again, and they stop them. The defense stops them. We get loud again and force, for a punt in Was he standing on the goal line, Reese, when he punted the ball, or was he in the end zone?
I believe he was on the goal line, maybe just behind.
So we get loud again for the punt. The punt goes off, and what happens? The MVP, Cooper DeJean, takes it to the house, a 70-yard punt return to win the game. And the crowd went absolutely bonkers, rightfully so. And honestly, dude, I think the fans won that game for Iowa. The fans propelled us to victory.
Yeah, like just that had me thinking about last year when we hosted Penn State and we forced them into 3 or 4 straight false start penalties, and that changed field position for them, and that set up our game-winning touchdown right then also. But Cooper DeJean, you can't.
I honestly think he should be
incredible.
a receiver, dude. We could use him on both sides of the ball.
Oh yeah. Like he'd make a great receiver.
And honestly, dude, you never want to see a player get hurt, right?
No.
You never want to see that happen, on any team. But the backup quarterback Hill actually did pretty good. I mean, he has the arm strength, he has the mobility. I think he also has the smarts to kind of read defenses. The only thing I think he's really missing that is teachable and is a good sign is that he's not that accurate right now. And so, obviously, like I said, you'd never want to see an injury, but, I don't think we are cooked. I don't think we're done. Because I saw some good things from Hill, and I think that, the accuracy can be taught. And so we're not in as bad spot as people thought we were.
Right. And I think Hill fits the play calling better than McNamara. For one, he is healthy. For one. 2, he's bigger than McNamara, like size, like weight wise, and we can use that to our advantage in, say, like a 4th and 2 or something like we've done in the past with other big quarterbacks like Stanley or like Beathard, like the quarterback sneaks for about 5 yards. But that would require the offensive line to get it together.
Yeah, and so we'll have to see with that real quick. So they did win 26-16. Real quick, updated offensive stats. Total offense, we are 132nd. Sam Houston State is the only one that is worse, and they are a first-year FBS program. Passing offense, 131st. Rushing offense, 115th. First downs, 130th. Third down conversion percentage, 27.7%. And like we mentioned, we lead all of college football in punt yards with 1,482 yards. So it's looking more like Ferentz, the son, Brian, is not going to be offensive coordinator anymore. It's looking more and more likely as the season progresses.
Yeah, like that one stat that I go to is the third down conversion percentage. How often we convert on third down.
That's abysmal.
No matter how long the yardage is, it could be 3rd and 2, it could be 3rd and 16. We can't convert. And we only convert 27% of the time. That's
bad.
That is not acceptable.
That's very bad. You can't sustain a drive if you can't get first downs.
Right.
You
Exactly.
know, and so we'll have to see. We got Purdue this week. Now I want to get into the top 25, starting with number one. Honestly, the weakest number one since college football playoffs started. The new format is Georgia at one. Two is Michigan. Three is Texas. Four, Ohio State. Five, Florida State. Six, Penn State. Seven, Washington. All seven spots. They were there last week, so no change there. Oregon moves up one to take 8, switching with USC, who's moves down one to take number 9. Notre Dame moves up one to take 10. Alabama goes up one to be at 11. Oklahoma shoots up 2 to take number 12. Washington State shoots up 3 to take number 13. North Carolina shoots up 1 to take spot 14. 15 belongs to Oregon State, who moved up 4 spots to get there. Ole Miss moved up 4 spots to take 16. 17, Miami moved up 1 spot to be there. Utah shot down 8 spots to be at 18. Duke moved down 2, took 19. Not ranked previously, Kentucky with the big win over Florida to shoot all the way to 20 after previously not being ranked. Missouri moves up 2 to take spot 21. Tennessee moves down again 1 spot for the second straight week of moving down to take 22. LSU plummets 10 spots in the most negative plummet of the week to take number 23. Fresno State moves up 1 to take number 24, and previously unranked Louisville moves back into the top 25 ranking at number 25. And Florida and Kansas both drop off. Florida deservedly so after losing to Kentucky. And Iowa is not receiving votes because our offense is abysmal. So the most positive jump looks like Oregon State and Ole Miss are tied, moving up 4. And like I said before, LSU, the most negative drop at 10 spots. So, Reese, what do you think of these rankings, and what would you like to see?
I agree with these rankings. I mean, the top 7 all won, so they rightfully stay the same. LSU dropping 10 is surprising after it was a shootout with Ole Miss. I thought they would drop, but I didn't know they would drop 10 spots after they really didn't get blown out. It was a shootout.
Yeah, that's kind of rough.
Yeah, I mean 55-49, you drop 10 spots. I don't know about that. And Ole Miss gains 4. I mean, if you're going by defense, then yeah. But if you're going by defense, then Ole Miss also should drop. But
or not rocket up 4 spots,
right,
maybe 2.
right. Yeah, but I don't know. It's about the only thing.
Yeah, I think most of them are solid. Like I said before, I don't think Georgia should be number 1 to begin with, but I mean, this week they still won, so you can't really say that they don't deserve it, but like they shouldn't have been there anyway. But now that they're there, I think they got to lose in order for them to drop out of number 1.
Right, and this is just the top 25 for the season rankings. Once they start doing the college football playoff rankings, I think it would be a little different.
Right, because these are the AP poll. These aren't yet, like you said, these aren't college football rankings. We're getting close to those, aren't we? Like they'll start coming in week like 7 or 8, right?
I think so. I think we're about 3 or 4 weeks off, maybe.
So it'll be interesting to see what the committee's been watching this entire time. We'll see, what we'll probably have some quarrels with the committee when the rankings come out, but we'll see. Now we got our week 6 games. Nebraska is at Illinois. That's the Friday at 7 o'clock game. Like we mentioned before, Purdue goes to Iowa, and that is streaming exclusively on Peacock, which, Reese, I'm not a big fan of. I'm not a big fan of these deals being made to move games exclusively to a streaming service. There's a workaround with Amazon Prime, the Thursday night game. You can watch it for free on Twitch, but I don't think the same thing applies with the Purdue at Iowa game. That's exclusively on Peacock. I don't think they're gonna have a Twitch stream of it. So yeah, you have to get Peacock for an entire month to watch 2 games, because the other game that will be streaming on Peacock will be the Wrigley Field game on November 4th, which is probably going to upset a lot of people because that is a novelty game that everybody would like to watch.
Yeah, I'm surprised that game isn't on a major network like FS1 or Fox itself. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of streaming college football either. I think you could get away with NFL and Major League Baseball, but college football is just a big thing in this country, and to stream it, I don't agree with that.
TCU is at Iowa State. Ohio State hosts Maryland. Both unbeaten, Maryland and Ohio State. So we'll see what happens there. Oklahoma is at Texas. Washington State at UCLA. Alabama at Texas A&M. Kentucky at Georgia. Notre Dame at Louisville. Arizona at USC. And Colorado is on the road at Arizona State. And so we will bring you the results and analysis from week 6 of college football, but we got to move on to the NFL. Another weird week, interesting week. Thursday night, the Lions beat the Packers 34-20 and take control of the NFC North. Montgomery had a game, 32 rushes, 121 yards, 3 scores. Then on Sunday morning, the Sunday morning special, Jaguars beat the Falcons overseas in London, 23-7. Lawrence went 23 for 30, 207 yards, and 1 touchdown. The Texans may be for real, Reese. They upset the Steelers 30-6. CJ Stroud went 16 for 30, 306 yards, 2 touchdowns. Rams beat the Colts in overtime, 29-23. Stafford went 319 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 pick. Vikings beat the Panthers 21-13. Kirk Cousins went 12 for 19, 139 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 picks. But they still managed to beat the Panthers. Buccaneers beat the Saints 26-9. Baker Mayfield went 25 for 32, 246 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 pick. Eagles beat the Commanders 34-31 in overtime. Jalen Hurts went 25 for 37, 319 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Bills beat the Dolphins and kind of a stunner. I think they would have beat the Dolphins, but I didn't think that they beat them 48-20. Josh Allen went 21 for 25, 320 yards, 4 touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown. The Titans beat the Bengals 27-3. Derrick Henry, 22 rushes, 122 yards, and a score. Ravens beat the Browns 28-3. Lamar Jackson went 15 of 19, 186 yards, 2 touchdowns, passing, and 2 rushing touchdowns. Broncos get the win, overcoming a 28-7 deficit in the. So it was 28-7 with about 4 minutes left to go in the third quarter, and they come all the way back. Russell Wilson scores twice. The defense gets a scoop and score to tie the game at 28-all, and then the Bears decide to go for it on 4th and 1, get stopped. Well within field goal range, mind you. If they would have kicked a field goal, it would have been, I think it was a 35-yarder. But they decided to go for it, 4th and 1, get stopped. Broncos march down the field, kick a field goal, and leave it in Justin Fields' hands to throw a pick, the only pick he threw on the day, to seal the Bears' loss. Justin Fields in that game had a day. Okay, mind you. He went 28 for 35, 335 yards, 4 touchdowns, and then obviously that crucial pick. That was his first 300-plus yard passing game of his career. And his defense just didn't show up, and so they got the L. Chargers beat the Raiders 24-17. Herbert went 13 for 24, 167, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Khalil Mack had 6 sacks in that game. Cowboys beat Patriots 38-3. Prescott went 28 for 34, 261, and a touchdown. 49ers beat Cardinals 35-16. Brock Purdy went 20 for 21, only not completing 1 pass. He went 283 yards and a touchdown. McCaffrey is McCaffrey. He had 20 rushes for 106 yards and 3 touchdowns. Moving on to Sunday Night Football, Chiefs beat the Jets 23-20 in a surprising game. I think Zach Wilson figured out how to play football. Mahomes threw his 200th touchdown in just 84 games?
Yeah.
That is the least amount of games to that milestone in NFL history. Seattle defense suffocates the Giants in a 24-3 win. Daniel Jones, first quarterback to get sacked 10 times, throw a pick 6 in a game since 1985. So the Giants have some work to do. Real quick, anything stand out to you, Reese, on that?
Just like you said, the Giants got work to do. That's about it. Everything seems decent about week 4.
Yeah. Well, the Bears also got work to do, but
Well, yeah, they're in the front. They're in the front running for the NFL draft,
right?
number 1 pick. So they're good.
Now they're just tanking.
Yes.
Real quick, we got week 5 starting the bye weeks. Cleveland, LA Chargers, Seattle, and Tampa Bay are all on byes. So Thursday, Bears at Commanders. Both are on short weeks, so we'll see how. That's probably the only saving grace for the Bears. They're on a short week, so we'll see if they can get something together. Noon games for Sunday, we got the Ravens at Steelers, Giants at Dolphins, Saints at Patriots, Panthers at Lions, Texans at Falcons, Titans at Colts. Before that, we got an 8:30 game again. The Jaguars, I guess, stay in London and host the Bills. Well, actually, technically, the Bills are the home team that week, but the Jaguars are already there. The 3 o'clock game, you got Eagles at Rams, Bengals at Cardinals, Chiefs at Vikings, Jets at Broncos. Sunday night football, you got Cowboys at 49ers, powerhouse matchup there. And then ending the week, you got Monday night football, Packers at Raiders. So, Reese, my do not watch would be probably, actually, I think the the Giants at Dolphins is the snoozer game of the week. And the should watch, I'm going to go Sunday night football, Cowboys at 49ers. You have Eagles at Rams for should watch and Jets at Broncos for do not watch. And so we'll have to see how that goes. But for Reese, I am Devin. You've been listening to Sportsball Roundup. Have yourselves a wonderful day.